Hey everyone, so this is the day after Q school in La Manga, Spain. Literally the day after I'm done. So as you can tell by my crazy hair and my face, I just did a workout. And yeah, that wraps up my year for 2022. Why is it so bright? Okay, well, you're just gonna have to deal with my face right now. But yeah, that wraps up my year for 2022. I hope you guys can hear me because obviously I don't want to be speaking too loud. But I realized that I haven't really posted any videos recently, and some of you guys have reached out to me regarding that. So I wanted to make this video just kind of like my year in review for you guys, catch you guys up on what's been happening, where I am right now, and what I'm gonna do for next year. Alright, so I'm at an airport, so I've got like 12 hours of layover to wait, so I guess this gives me a lot of time to chat about my year. So I'm going to try to put this in the most precise but also obviously in a way that is going to answer as many questions as you guys might possibly have. I know that it's been a while that I've kind of updated you guys with what's going on and what I've been doing. I know some of you guys are still keeping track of like my progress and my results and stuff, and I really do appreciate that. Obviously all the extra effort that you guys put in and like always wish me well before events and stuff like that, and I might not always get back to all of you guys, but I always do appreciate all those messages. Okay, just so overall and like results wise, I feel like it was not the greatest year but also not the worst year. Like a lot of you guys might have known, this was my first year playing in Europe, so I definitely learned a lot. And I think, to put it easily, I think to break it down, I feel like there are many elements and aspects of my game that I do need to improve, and I was able to determine and find that out through analyzing my play this year. Also, a lot of it comes down to not just playing golf, but playing golf professionally, and I'm gonna break it down a little bit more by what I mean by that. So I think the first thing that I realized was that, I don't know if you guys realized it, but I knew this, but I think that experiencing it this year in a different environment really made it clear, is that it's not so much just playing golf, it's playing golf professionally, which means traveling to play golf in different conditions, under different circumstances. So what do I mean by playing golf under different circumstances? I think I can break it down to basically every single aspect of a golf game that you could think of. So first of all, I think physically I do need to be better prepared. I feel like this year I really did not have the time to be able to like get stronger at the gym, and I feel like because I was traveling so much, having so much time sitting in the airplanes, it was very hard for me to like prioritize between rest time and work time, and to be able to give myself enough rest while also like prioritizing the gym. So I feel like the gym kind of went onto the back burner. And that's not to say that like I didn't work out, I did, but I never felt like I had enough time to like work out to get stronger or get more flexible or anything in that like essence. It's just like working out to keep the body moving. Okay, so physically, why does that make such a big difference? Like, why does going to the gym make such a big difference? I think like this year I had one of like my first quote-unquote injuries playing golf for this many years. I mean, it could just be an accumulation of playing golf for this many years. And if you guys know, like in Asia we hit off mats, so hitting off mats for that long, like I had a little bit of wrist injury. Yeah, basically it's just kind of like overuse, so there was nothing really much that I could do with regards to that. But I got to reduce my time spent at driving ranges, especially when I was at home, because when I was at home all the driving ranges were off mats, and it wasn't good for me to continue hitting off mats when my wrist was already like overused, and the vibrations and stuff like that would not make it any better, but instead would make it worse. So when I was home, I couldn't really grind on the swing. All I could do was go out and play. And like you guys know, like being at driving range and playing is kind of two different things, and they're both good for different reasons. So obviously it's good to play, but you also need time at the driving range. So I think physically I do need to come up with a better plan with respect to that. So while like I said, like it's probably just an accumulation of practicing over the years, but like, and it's also quite impressive. I've been playing golf for like 15 years and this was like the real first injury that I've ever had playing golf. But I also feel like physically my body was not as fluid as it normally is. Like I'm quite a flexible person. I've done a lot of sports my whole life and I've always prioritized like going to the gym, working out, doing yoga and things like that. So I think with this year I was struggling a little bit in the sense of like, for instance, I would travel to tournaments and my priority would be like, okay, I've just traveled 30 hours, so I need my body to be able to rest. But then, you know, obviously I would have to go and play practice rounds, and playing practice rounds you don't really want to, you know, after walking 18 holes, practicing after that and before the game, and then you don't really want to go spend the energy to go to the gym after. So I didn't really have a lot of time to go to the gym, and when I did, it was just more for maintenance, more for like cardio, for heart health. It was never really to like do the normal routines that I do. So physically I feel like my body wasn't as prepared as it could have been in that sense, because which leads to my next point, which is prioritizing my time better, because I didn't feel like I had really the time to, you know, it was basically choosing between going to work out or getting rest. So it's a very fine line because you do need rest. Like I'm traveling so much that it doesn't make sense for me to be going out and, you know, getting even more tired after traveling. So I don't know, I think there needs to be a balance. There needs to be, maybe I need to create more workout plans where I'm using more of my body weight, more of like bands rather than using weights, and like, you know, because I also did not want to feel sore when I'm playing tournaments. So figuring out something that's going to work well for my body and for traveling, and just for the amount of traveling that I was doing this year, I think it just took a toll on my body, because I was like, it's either I was walking the entire time on the golf course, or, you know, I was like playing golf for 8 hours or sitting down for 8 hours. So it's like the balance was definitely not there. So the next thing, like I said, is with regards to time management. I feel like as a person I've always been pretty good with time management. Like my whole life it's been something that I've tried to make benefit myself, and I feel like even, you know, going to college, going to school, that's one of the things that helped me a lot. I've always been pretty good at managing my time. But yeah, I feel like this year it was not really a choice, but like just because of all the traveling that I had to do and all the last minute traveling that I had to do, I felt like I never really had enough time. Like it's either I would be on the road or I would be home, and when I'm home I would be like trying to play with potential sponsors, or I would be, like I said, like I never felt like I had any downtime, I feel like. So I think that is something that I need to do better as well. It's not really like, I felt like I was just like go the entire year, and I'd never had time to like rest. Even though like obviously, like I said, I would play the whole morning and then rest the afternoon. It's like a different kind of rest when you're on the road and when you're at home and you're trying to like recuperate. Yeah, so I definitely feel like time wise I never felt like I had a break. So like this right now off season is like the first time that I feel like I can breathe. Like I don't have to plan something, I don't have to be rushing to do something. Yeah, like I don't know, I mean there's always like you need to find a balance. I think it's all about balance. Like obviously I need to go home and play with these people who could be potential sponsors, because if I don't and I don't put myself out there, then I'm not going to get sponsorship, and if I don't get sponsorship, how am I going to go play? So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, like obviously when I'm playing with these people I am playing golf, but it's playing a different kind of golf when you're playing with sponsors versus when you're practicing and training for golf. So I think that physically I can do better in that aspect. Time wise I just need to learn to maybe prioritize things. Like even with YouTube I haven't been able to do a lot of content, and I know last year when I was posting a lot of content, a lot of people, I mean not a lot of people, but there was this group of people who were like, hey Jen, just focus on your golf and don't post any content, don't worry about it, like just play golf. But one of the reasons why I do YouTube videos and make content is also because I find it fun to do that. Like to me it's kind of like taking time to do something other than golf, even though it is related to golf. it's something where I can be a little bit more creative. I can use some of the skills that I have or that I've learned. Okay, let's wait for this announcement. So yeah, even though some people might say like, hey, it's taking away your time from training, I actually find it kind of like an outlet. So in a way, it is good for me to keep producing this content, but I think that for me, like being a perfectionist and wanting to do things a certain way, I felt like it was better just to not post content than to do like content that would only be like half as good as what I would like it to be, basically. And I think that, you know, it's kind of sad too, because I do like I look at some of my videos from last year, and I enjoy it. I love seeing the things that I went through, the travels, the journeys that I was playing in the US. And you know, this year I haven't really posted much about playing at all, and I think part of it is too, like, I never felt like I had time, like, and it's part again of the same thing. I felt like I was just go the entire time, like I was traveling from one place to the other. So I think I do need to do better, because I feel like my entire year was so focused around golf and like what the next golf thing is going to be. And obviously, like, my life revolves around golf in many aspects, but I mean, there needs to be like some time where I'm not thinking about golf, and I never felt like I had that this year. And it's not like it was by choice too, obviously, because I didn't have like full status. So sometimes it would be like, hey, you're going to the tournament, go play the tournament. So then you would have to like book last minute, book hotels, book travel, book flight. And for me, it's not like 2-hour flights, it's like 30-hour flights. So yeah, I think part of it was things that I could not control, but I think I need to be able to kind of prioritize the things that I think will help me. You know, sometimes being away from it all, like planning and then just letting it go, because I would like lose sleep some days, because I'm like thinking, okay, how am I going to plan my next travel for the next 5 weeks? Like, when am I going to stay? Who am I going to stay with? What am I going to do? Am I going to rent a car? Am I going to stay in an official hotel? There's just so many things going in my mind that like it would even take away from my sleep, which is my rest time. So I think that I do need to be better with that. And you know, this is just part of being, even though it's not my rookie year as a professional golfer, it's my rookie year playing on the LET. So it's all part of a learning process, I think. So in terms of playing, obviously I feel like there are still some skill-wise things that I need to improve. You know, things that I think I can work on in the off season, now that I do have an off season, now that I do have time to practice and to work on some certain things. Because I feel like also it was just go to the extent that if I was struggling with something, I never had time to go fix it or something, because I don't know when I'm going to travel again next. So it was always like having to be prepared, and having to be prepared means not, you know, being super sore from a workout and then having to go play golf the next day in a tournament, or having to, you know, basically like just that whole not being able to predict anything, living on the edge, like living day by day, to the extent that it was like stressing me out in a way that was not good for me, that I did not have I couldn't take a breather, basically. So yeah, skills wise, I think there is definitely certain things that I can do. However, I do feel like it's more of putting it all together. And you know, in some aspects it could also be being able to go out there and think, okay, I'm just here to play this round of golf right now. I don't have to worry about what I'm going to do tomorrow or the next week or the week after that. It's just go play this round of golf right now, and then we can think about that later. I think I do need to be better at that. I am very like, I'm always thinking about a million things at once, so that is not something that is probably good for my game either. So yeah, like I said in the beginning of the video, I think one of the things that I need to do is be better at being a pro golfer, which is something that you can only learn by being out there and being a pro golfer, experiencing these things, getting used to it, getting used to the travel, maybe, you know, getting more sponsors, and then things will not be like as stressful and things like that, you know, which is all part of the professional life and things that people can't really teach you. Yes, people can give you advice about it, but if you're not out there and experiencing yourself, it's very hard to like really know exactly what it's like. I think that without making this video like a million minutes long, I think that is kind of my year in review. If you guys have more questions about anything, like anything I think I will be doing, maybe a video of like just like 20 questions or whatever questions you guys might have, if that is something that you guys might want to see. I hope this video was interesting to you guys. I think making this was also good for me because I was able to analyze my own game, which is obviously something that I've been doing as it's the end of the season. So being able to put it all out there, and I think that I might not have been able to communicate as much as I would like. But overall, in a nutshell, I think for the year 2022, I feel like I played some good golf. I put myself in contention a few times. Like, I put myself in situations where I haven't been in a while, so being in that situation was good. I experienced a lot of new golf courses, a lot of new places. I traveled to so many countries. I'm still learning a lot of things out there, learning how to better travel, learning how to be a better professional golfer, learning how to handle everything, learning how to handle stress, time management, my own physical health, mental health, my own game of golf, being able to perform week after week. And I think I just need to figure out what works best for me, what's going to put me in a position where I can go and play golf without worrying about every other thing that doesn't need to be worried about maybe in any given moment of time. Like, obviously there are a lot of worries, but I think that when I'm out on the golf course, that needs to go away. So yeah, I think that there are a lot of positives. I think one of the things that is most invaluable is just learning all these lessons that, like I said, I couldn't have learned if I wasn't out here doing what I'm doing right now. So part of that is also thanks to you guys and for supporting me and my journey. Obviously to all the sponsors that have been supporting my journey as well this year. And obviously my family, always the biggest pillar of support. My dad, who carried it for me the entire year. I think that every experience is there for a reason, and if you don't learn something from it, then you're wasting your time and wasting your energy. But if you do learn something from it, it's always going to be an invaluable lesson that you cannot get elsewhere. And because you're the only person experiencing something the way that you are experiencing it, nobody can take away from your journey. And it doesn't matter what anybody else says, your journey is your own. You can do things at your own pace. Like, you don't have to worry. Like, I feel like me at this age, I'm 27 years old, people start, like, I get comments about like, hey, what are you gonna do, you're getting old, like blah blah blah. Like, I can play golf for as long as I want. It's my life. As long as I can, and as long as I still love and want to pursue this game, I will. So, and obviously as long as I'm able to. So I think that I have learned to prioritize myself as well in this journey. And I think I'm looking forward to the things that's going to happen next year. So I hope you guys stay tuned for this journey. Stay tuned for more Golf with Jen, because there's definitely more to come. It is like, I don't know, 2 a.m. right now. So I'm going to try and get some rest. But also exhibit A of another thing that I should not be doing. Maybe like, giving myself 24-hour layovers and staying in the airport and trying to expect myself to go to a tournament, play well after that. Obviously I'm going home right now, but there has been many situations this year where I've had to sleep in the airport. So definitely not putting myself in those situations when I can help it. So yeah, other than that, I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and hopefully I will see all of you guys and maybe more of you guys next year. So thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video so that I can keep making more content. Catch you guys next year.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get something good, something over you. Step 3, you grow hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do it.
Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time, it's how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gon' rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food.
One more.
It's moving the opposite direction.